Hello, guys. Uh, I'm here again to uh, look together the import, the necessity, why uh, we should be a people that questions, a people that, probe the nature of the very things that have been presented to them. And this is the only way we can uh, deal with our problems. It is the only way we can go beyond the boundaries that has been defined for us politically, religiously. It's so important that we become a people, all right, that inquire about the nature of things and not just accepting that which you are used to, the norm. You see, there's never been an advancement in any area of human thought that was not facilitated on the basis of questioning already existing, norm or tradition. Okay, and so it's so important that we start to cultivate such, attitude towards questioning our answers. Yes, answers have been passed on across, to us. But then we must begin to question the credibility of these answers. Now, we cannot talk about freedom. I always love to talk about this. I can talk about this, 1,000 times. We can't talk about freedom without talking about first the freedom to question. So important. You see, one must become free from all external authorities, right, that seems to come against the act of questioning. You don't just make a law or a policy or maybe a belief. It says according to the tradition. That's nonsense. We must become liberated from this external hindrance over our cognitive, expressions. We must be free to question everything. You question your ideologies of God. Question the ideologies about yourself, about your environment. Without this, there is no way we can advance. We can push further. You see, our experience beyond the defined boundaries. We can't push it further beyond that. If we don't walk in this part of questioning. So questioning, it's so important. And that's why, I take time to, to do online classes like this, and even in physical meetings where people get to hone their minds. We don't hone our minds. Hone. We're not in charge of our minds. And because we are not in charge of our minds, we are the result of external beliefs. We are the result of external dogma, institutional dogma. We are the result of policies made without without consideration. So you must learn how to become free so that you can question all of these things that are presented before you. You question the answers. While you were growing up, you were told many things. You were taught. And you were given the data, the information of what they want you to believe. And you bought into that. Now, having grown up, you must become liberated. You must become free. You must question the ideology that raised you up. You must question the environment in which you were brought up. You must question the religion that was imposed on you when you had no sense, in quotes, to question the things that were coming, people were presenting to you. And so, the number one sign of maturity is honing your mind. One of the expressions of maturity is a sign of being a matured human being. You hone your mind. And you can't hone your mind until the deconstruction of all external authorities happens. If that do not take place, then you are still a slave. Okay? And so, we can move on from there. Once you are now free from external defined way of thinking, we begin to look within ourselves. What are those thought processes? What are the things that comes by us? We also must become free from an egoistic, dictation over our minds. You must become free. See, the truth is, you must not believe anything. See, this really does not mean what you are thinking. Maybe you are thinking a kind of atheism or something like that. But that's not it. The truth is, you don't have to walk by belief. It's not a must that you must be a believer of something. It's not a must. A lot of times, those are the hindrances. Those are the obstacles. Okay? That hinders one's transition becomes difficult for people to migrate, to keep evolving, because they are now imprisoned by a defined set of beliefs. And so freedom is being free, not just from external authority, but also from belief system that may arise from you, which in turn imposes limitations on you. Because you see, the first thing you should know is human beings, we hardly face change. We don't like it. And so because we don't like it, there is that tendency to get stuck in a particular place or position. So even when something, that seems more superior to what you know before, you want to hold on to that tradition. You see, we all have that tendency. But then it's a gradual walk to transcend all of this. Be the questioner. Regain yourself as a questioner. Question everything, question yourself. Okay? Become free in your cognitive space. It is the only way you can evolve as an individual. It's the only way we all can evolve. All right? As corporate humanity. Yes. So, I leave this with you. Question your answers. Question. Question your answer. This should not escape your mind. Question your answers. It's how you keep evolving. Take no position. Don't place a conclusion on yourself, because you are a flow. There is no beginning, there is no ending to you. And because there is no beginning and ending to you, therefore you are undefined. And that's the whole concept of I am in mysticism. Man is a flow, it's completely undefined. And so you are going through evolutionary processes, you are evolving. The conclusion of today might not be the conclusion of 20 years' time. But then the conclusion of today can have a negative impact on you in embracing the change that may come thereafter. And so it's always safe and important to be without conclusion. Yes. To be without conclusion. And I think the whole wonder of life is wrapped up in the fact that life is not conclusive. Life is a flow. All right? No end point, no defined boundary. It keeps expanding and unfolding. This is the reality of life. And so don't bring hard walls in your cognitive space. You must be elastic, and you must be responsive to change. Because change is only that which is constant. Change is a constant, and we all must recognize that. If you don't recognize that, you're going to miss out greatly. Even in relation to yourself, you will definitely go through changes. In relation between two lovers or couples, they will go through changes. In relation to human nature, we all go through. Change is constant. And so, why have a belief that is not responsive to change? It's a tradition. What nonsense tradition? That's why we are not evolving in terms of how we think. Why? Because we've defined the flow. Each time a flow is defined, it has lost its inherent capacity to evolve beyond that. And so we start to, do all kinds of recycling. And deceiving ourselves, think we are we're advancing. No, we're just going about. We must embrace change. And that's what questioning does. Probing your answers and your conclusions, so as to open the window for further creativity, for further expansion and advancement in all areas. And no, don't do that. You don't get yourself into that mess. And I think this is very rampant in religion. Always keeping on to tradition. Man is fluid. Man is an elastic being. And so we must be willing and ready to embrace change, questioning all our conclusions, all the answers. And you see, for me, I think each and every individual on this planet Earth must embark upon a journey of inquiry in order to realize himself or herself. Because the moment you grow up and accept the answers you've been given, you see, we are all diverse. And sometimes the answer of someone may not really be the answer as far as your own unique flow is concerned. And it doesn't mean that one is wrong. It simply means we are in a diverse space. And everyone must embrace the truth as it peculiarly unfold within their own space of thought. And so we must embark upon that journey of inquiry for an authentic self-discovery, not all this cloning and copies that you see, out there. Okay? I will leave this with you, and I hope this meets you well. And, I love you all the time. That's why I'm out here, just so as to share some things with you. And I do hope you are blessed. I love you. Stay gallant.